Okay, hello. Well, here I am sitting back out in the desert again, and it's only a little over 100 degrees. I suppose that's better than 105. Anyway, so I'm sitting here drinking on a jug of water that I got from my host's well over here, and this is the most flavor neutral water that I know of on the planet. I guess it's my taste buds, but decades ago, I discovered that commercial water tasted like metallic to me, and I just don't like it. I don't like distilled water either. It tastes metallic. And the label on the water says that it has minerals in it to make it taste like fresh creek water. Okay, so a couple of decades ago, I had the opportunity to drink some creek water, and sure enough, it tasted metallic to me. That was a real letdown. So well, just recently, while I was up in the mountains beyond Redding, next to a nice pure river, I was told that the neighbors there, they're in their 90s and they've drank this river water all their lives and they never got giardia or anything like that. So it's the purest water possible. So I drank some of that, and sure enough, if it was really cold, which it wasn't too bad. It was actually kind of good. But when it started warming up a little bit, then it tasted really metallic to me. So my taste buds are wacky. So I'm back to the desert drinking not creek water or river water, but well water. Now, this well water's been unfiltered, and it's not pure. It's got a lot of minerals in it. When we run it through the swamp cooler, it builds up minerals, calcium and whatever on the pads very quickly, so there's a lot of stuff in the water. But it's flavor neutral. It doesn't have the same uh, ground chemicals in it that river or creek water does, which tastes metallic to me, but it's just absolutely flavor neutral, even though it might possibly be a little bit heavy on some minerals. Hopefully not cyanide or one of these desert water poisons. I've been drinking it for 2 years and I'm okay. I mean, I think I'm okay. Other people might not think I'm okay, but I think I'm okay, and I'm the one that counts. So well water is the thing for me. So I've got 2 cases of canning jars, and I'm bringing well water with me wherever I go across the United States because distilled water. Oh, and if you drink too much distilled water, it'll suck all the minerals out of your bloodstream, and you will get leg and foot cramps and arm cramps and hand cramps like you wouldn't believe because you don't have enough nutrients in your blood because distilled water will pull heavy metals out. I had heavy metal poisoning after coming back from Africa in 1988. I didn't get the heavy metal poisoning while in Africa. I got malaria in Africa. I'll tell you how hot water treatments cured me from that someday. But after we got back to the States in Arkansas, we knew our well water had some kind of chemicals in it because you could see these little dust bunnies in the bottom of your glass of water. But it didn't bother us. But after my health was broke from the malaria, then I couldn't get going again. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't function. So my wife called a naturopath friend of mine and he said, oh, it sounds like his symptoms describe heavy metal poisoning. Get him some distilled water. So she went and got some distilled water and got me a big glass down me. I could hardly wake up to get it down. But by the next morning, I was straight arrow again. It straightened me right out, took that heavy metal out. Well, we had the water tested and it was full of manganese. So the well got condemned. Anyhow, that's about the time we left. But I learned a lot from the experience. So well water is my favorite, and this is it. Inyo Kern well water. Maybe Ridgecrest water is okay, but I like this stuff. Even if it clogs up the coolers, it's the stuff for me. Anyway, even if it's kind of warm, I prefer it that way because I just don't like that metallic flavor. And speaking of metallic flavor, once my first wife's mom sent her a Mr. Coffee machine, and this was back about 1990, and she got spastic colon, where you got constipation for a couple days and then diarrhea for a couple days. And so we looked in an old book by a guy named Jethro Kloss. I think it was written around the 1870s or so. And he had the same problem, a spastic colon that he thought was going to kill him. He was bad. But he said a friend of his told him to see if his wife had an aluminum teapot. Some people are sensitive to aluminum in their water, and it causes them to have a spastic colon. So he said, right, as soon as he quit drinking water from his wife's aluminum teapot, spastic colon straightened right out. Okay, so I took the Mr. Coffee machine apart, every nut, bolt, and screw out of it, and sure enough, the heating tube in it was aluminum. So I just trash canned the whole thing. Said, sorry, sweetie, you don't need a Mr. Coffee machine if it's going to have that kind of problem. And sure enough, 2 or 3 days, her spastic colon problem went away. So some people are sensitive to aluminum in the water. So if you've got a spastic colon problem, check that out. So I guess that's all the ranting for right now. God bless, and we'll talk to you again sometime later when the inspiration hits me. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.